Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving right into the hidden mechanics that bring everyday consumer goods to our store shelves in absolutely perfect condition. It's a massive, almost invisible global machine, and we are putting a magnifying glass directly on the independent guardians of quality. You know the feeling, right? You buy a brand new pair of socks, slip them on, and boom, there's a hole right in the toe. We've all been there, and it usually happens when you're already running 10 minutes late. It's incredibly frustrating. But while it's just a minor hiccup for your morning routine, for global manufacturing, that single defective sock represents a catastrophic breakdown in a multi-million-dollar supply chain. So here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. We'll cover the cost of bad socks, the bias problem, the independent guardian, decoding AQL standards, final random inspection, and wrap up with the continuous improvement loop. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the cost of bad socks and the ripple effect of tiny defects. Think about the sheer domino effect of a bad product. Let's say a batch of socks has a top opening that's just a little too tight, or maybe there's a slight color variation from the left foot to the right. When an international brand ships those, it doesn't just result in a bad online review. We're talking immediate customer complaints, painful financial chargebacks, expensive claims, and massive product returns. For global retailers, a few bad socks can literally mean a devastating loss of future business. It's a brand reputation killer, for sure. Moving on to Section 2. The bias problem, or why factories really can't always grade their own homework. Look, on one side, you've got the factory's internal quality team. They are inevitably sweating over strict shipment deadlines and internal business pressures. I mean, the factory needs to get the product out the door to get paid, right? On the other side, you have an independent auditor, totally objective, completely unbiased, with zero direct sales involvement. This right here is the core conflict of the whole industry. Buyers face a massive risk if they rely solely on a factory's internal checks because minor issues might just mysteriously get overlooked to meet a deadline. As we all learned in grade school, you simply cannot grade your own homework if you want an honest score. Which brings us to Section 3, the independent guardian. Enter BizTech sourcing. So a BizTech sourcing inspector steps onto the factory floor without any of that production pressure. They're just there to verify the exact specs that matter most. They're checking the sock size, making sure the logo placement is dead on, verifying the color shade, confirming precise pair matching, and checking all the packaging requirements. This level of independent third-party assurance is exactly what builds confidence for giant retailers like Walmart, Target, Aldi, Lidl, and Primark. In a lot of cases, their shipments literally do not move until a BizTech inspector gives the green light. Section 4. Decoding AQL standards, the science of quality control. As professionals in this space, we all know acceptable quality level, or AQL, isn't just some loose gut feeling guideline. It is the standardized mathematical threshold of defects allowed in a batch before the entire shipment gets completely rejected. Quality control isn't just an inspector staring at a pile of garments and giving a thumbs up based on their mood that day. AQL is a highly structured international protocol that brings rigorous, undeniable logic right to the factory floor. And inspectors categorize every single flaw into 3 distinct tiers. First up is critical. These are safety-related issues or totally incorrect product identification. Honestly, just one critical defect can be disastrous. Next, we have major. Think severe knitting defects, holes the wrong size, maybe a missing logo. Finally, minor, which are slight appearance issues like small stains or slight yarn irregularities. By categorizing defects exactly like this, BizTech ensures standardized sampling and completely removes human bias from the equation. Next is Section 5, Final Random Inspection, the absolute last line of defense. FII is basically that ultimate invisible shield. It's the systematic, final evaluation stage assessing everything from product quality and measurements to appearance and packaging right before shipment approval. This is the definitive, hard stop preventing bad products from ever leaving the factory floor and making their way to your local store shelves. And the level of detail during an FRI, it's honestly staggering. The inspector's actively hunting for drop stitches, oil stains, holes, needle lines. They take super precise foot and leg length measurements to ensure the shape is consistent. But it goes way beyond just the sock itself. They rigorously check the packaging too. Are the header cards right? Do the barcodes actually scan? And crucially, do the carton markings perfectly match the exact size range packed inside? If a carton says it holds large socks but it's stuffed with mediums, that's a massive retail disaster waiting to happen. The FRI is built to catch exactly that. Finally, Section 6, the continuous improvement loop, fixing the root cause. See, when BizTech sourcing finishes an audit, they aren't just handing over a basic pass or fail grade. They provide operational data that fuels a whole cycle of perfection. Step 1 is root cause analysis, figuring out exactly why that defect happened in the first place. That directly informs Step 2, corrective actions, to fix the current process, which ultimately leads to Step 3, preventative actions. This step-by-step progression ensures that once a specific flaw is spotted, the factory builds safeguards so that exact same defect never ever happens twice. Through those incredibly detailed findings, specific process weaknesses are brought right out into the light. The reports pinpoint exactly where the factory is dropping the ball. Maybe it's knitting problems, boarding issues, pairing mistakes, finishing defects, or just sloppy packing errors. The big takeaway here is that these independent audits double as a highly effective diagnostic tool. They actually empower these factories to dramatically level up their long-term operational performance. The best complaint is the one that never happens. I mean, what a quote. It's a mic drop statement that perfectly captures the entire mission of an independent auditor like BizTech Sourcing. Their whole existence is dedicated to detecting these issues way before the products ever leave the factory, protecting buyers, protecting brands, and most importantly, protecting us, the end consumers. So the next time you slide into a totally flawless pair of socks, just take a second, ask yourself, who were the invisible guardians and the rigorous mathematical standards standing between a noisy factory floor and your feet? Thanks for joining me on today's Explainer, guys. Until next time.